quick political speech by our candidate Greg Frugier.
Thank you for allowing me to address the council and the audience. I'm a candidate for state representative of District 41. I've decided to run because, like many of you, I'm concerned with the direction our state government is taking. Many people in the district from all walks of life have encouraged me to seek the office. I served 2 previous terms as your state representative. The state is facing many of the same problems we've faced for the last 30 years. We need to address these problems and quit kicking the can down the road. Your representative will face many challenges. Our roads and bridges are in need of repair. We need to provide affordable training to our children so that they may be prepared for employment opportunities. We need to address our health care problems and high insurance costs. Quick fixes won't solve these problems. Small cities like Eunice need a strong voice in the legislature. Large cities have lobbyists to represent them. I will be your voice. I'll work to bring back taxpayer money to the district.
Mr. Reba, you want to bring Donna with you, sir?
No, okay, so.
I see Pat needs a shave. Mayor and council members and citizens of Eunice and other parts of St. Andrew Parish and Climate Up, thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. I especially want to speak to the citizens of Eunice tonight that are watching on TV or are going to watch on TV. Since we formulated the Eunice Economic Development Committee, we've struggled with trying to entice people into coming into and building businesses, starting businesses in this town. And come to the realization that one of the things that we're missing in the city is a master plan. In January of this year, January 13th, the Eunice Economic Development Committee met with Kevin Ballinger, who is with he's the Chief Executive Officer with the South Central Planning and Development Commission District 4, which is we're part of it in this city. And we spoke to him about some of the plans, some of the ways that they're working with the parishes. And we're working with Bill Fontenot in all of the parishes in the Acadiana area in terms of economic assistance and help. And we talked to him about helping us with a master plan for the city. And similar to what Sunset had already developed, and which they spent a lot of money to getting developed. On June 25th, we had a master plan meeting here in this room in the city of Eunice, and it was attended by the aldermen, all the aldermen, and approximately 50 citizens. And it sure looks nice to see this many people sitting there. I agree with you, Mayor, including your mother. I see you back there. But on August 1st, which was probably a week ago, I got a phone call from somebody in St. Paul, Minnesota, and they wanted to come look at the city of Eunice. And anyway, I met with them on a Saturday, and I spent about 4 hours driving around town, looking at every street, nook and cranny, and available property in the city. He represented a group of people who was interested in developing full-service hotels and/or upscale apartment complexes. And the city of Eunice is very much liking in upscale apartment complexes. We have a lower rent apartment complexes on 13, and we have assisted living apartment complexes in various places in the city. But there's not any higher level or upper level in terms of income, I guess, apartment complexes available that would support a family coming in here who is interested in relocating into the city and possibly opening up a business. There's just no place for them to go unless they want to rent a house or unless they want to travel back and forth to Lafayette. He liked the city, he liked the culture. I mentioned to him that we were in the process of trying to develop a long-term master plan for the city, and when I said that, it was like I turned the light switch on. He became very interested, and he told me that without a plan, they're really not interested in relocating in places, but they know that the money that's being poured into Lake Charles and Calcasieu Parish, you can't dump that much money into one area without the alluvial fan effect of it spreading out throughout cities around. And Eunice is one of those cities that they want to look at. But Eunice can't sit and wait for something to happen. We need to make it move. The plan is to do nothing. We need to tell the world we're not going to do anything, because that becomes our plan. Our request from the Economic Development Committee is this. We'd like for your council members to get your committee members together by 8/18. That's a week from today. There was no timeline put on the motion at the last meeting. We'd like to have the committee meet with our Economic Development Committee and Mike Oye of the Acadiana Planning Commission, plus Mr. Fondo, if he'd like to join us, Mr. Rodier and Kevin Ballinger, who gave us the first proposal on 8/20, so we can show them and explain to them what we got. At that point, or even before that, that committee selects their own chairperson. We don't want to be their chairperson. We want them to be a separate entity from the Economic Development Committee. And we would like to have that committee report back to you guys on the City Council on 9/8, which is your September meeting. And then someone on the City Council needs to be appointed to make sure that all of this happens. Somebody has to take responsibility, and we need a timeline. We need to move forward. We can't afford to wait. And once the city makes a commitment for the plan, master plan, then the Eunice Economic Development Committee is committed to, at that time, developing a process to obtain finances and monies to help us support. And $26,000 is not a real big nut to crack. Thank you very much, Mayor, and thank you very much, Councilman. Please, put a timeline to it, and let's get this done. Thank you.
All right, Donna, you can show your sign. All right. I'd like to remind the audience and the citizens of Eunice that August the 28th is the 3rd annual Joe Nagata Memorial Jamboree. The opening ceremony will begin at 6 p.m. At 6:30 p.m., St. Ed's will play against Notre Dame, and halftime will feature past alumni athletes. At 8 o'clock, Eunice High will play Sacred Heart. Please put that on your schedule. Next, Ms. Reeves got some special guests to introduce.
I would like to introduce all of you to our 2015 Miss Eunice and Miss Teen Eunice.
Hi, my name is Jillian Johnson. I am your 2015 Miss Eunice. I'm 17 and I'm going to be a senior at Eunice High School. And I just want to say that I'm excited to represent our city this upcoming year.
My name is Aubrianna York, and I'm 14 years old. I'm Miss Teen Eunice 2015-2016, and I'm going to be a freshman at St. Edmund High School this year.
Thank y'all for being here, and again, congratulations. Congratulations. Mr. Fundler is our parish president, doing an excellent job.
Thank you,
He
Mayor.
takes very good care of Eunice.
Thank you. And thank you, Council. And thank you, members of the public. I'd come to do some special business, and I'll get to that, but I was reminded, because of a few other politicians that are here that are running in October, that I will be applying for that job as well. I'm going to apply for the job that I'm doing now that expires December 31st. I'm going to apply for it again in October. I'm going to qualify for re-election as your president. I'm proud to be the president. Mr. Jack had mentioned something about not visiting Eunice by maybe some others from other parts of the parish. Well, I've always lived in Grand Prairie, Louisiana, which is the northwest part of the country. It's definitely in the country. I grew up there. I still live there. But I had the opportunity to go to a good school, high school and college, and I became a civil engineer. And my background in that, I think, gave me the opportunity to retire. And I've always lived in St. Landry Parish, even though I went off to work in Lafayette for 30-something years. And I want to say thank you to Gary Corville and Jimmy Edwards, your parish councilman, for putting us in a position to have the citizens vote on a tax that they passed to improve roads, and we're progressing with that very well. And as some of you may have ridden on some of these roads, we're now honing in on the Eunice area with some of those improvements, and that'll continue for a long time to come. So I'm proud to be part of that, and so I just wanted to get that out of the way first, that that I'd like to continue to be president if you'll have me. And if not, I'll just go home to Grand Prairie and watch the squirrels run and the rabbits jump. It's okay. So I want to thank Gary and Jimmy for all their support in making I think my first administration, which ends this year, a success. Thank you to Gary and Jimmy. And talking about Gary and Jimmy, they came to me a couple of months ago, and there are some issues in Eunice, and when the mayor would call or any of the councilmen, I was happy to run here and do what I could to help. And so Gary and Jimmy came to me with 5 roads that we've listed, and you may have it in some of your paperwork, but I'll just go through them here. Goose Street, Carroll Street, Lloyd Street, Stone Street, and Goldman Street. Those are some aggregate roads here in the city. They belong to the city, but under the laws of the state of Louisiana and the charter, and I believe the city, we can get into an intergovernmental agreement to help you to reshape those roads, put them in a better condition. So we'll have our motor grader here, and we're working it through the process now. It passed the last committee meeting unanimously, and we think in the full council meeting next week we'll get it passed. We'll get that agreement over to you, and the mayor's signature and mine on it will actually authorize us to do that.
Ms. Simpson?
It's that time of year again. Every year around this time, I start urging the parents, if your child is going to be involved in biddy basketball, let's start looking at what we can do. I don't want to see the biddy basketball program here diminish. I'm going to develop a meeting. I talked to Mr. George. He thinks that it's good that we get with the parents, write all your ideas down so we can see how we can keep biddy basketball going. We know that we have a problem with the gym because the city does not have, or we do not own our own gym. So that's one of the problems that we have. But I would like some insight from the parents to be able to tell us some things that you like to see, and it's also going to mean that I'm going to want some of the parents to step up to the plate and take and accept some of those responsibilities to help us out to make it more effective.
I have a request to hire 2 police officers. They passed the background checks and stuff like that, but they're still, we have the psychological evaluations scheduled, and they'll still need to do the physicals and the drug tests. So I'd like to hire them.
Is it an offer for hire?
Right.
An offer for hire, yes.
Provided that they, and hire them provided that they pass these requirements. One is actually a rehire that I'd like to rehire as a probational police officer. He was a police officer with the city of Eunice for several years, and he resigned for personal reasons, and he's wishing to come back at this time. That would be Ivory LaFleur. I don't know if they're here.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. One thing with Ivory is that we will not have to spend money sending him to the police academy. Maybe a little refresher within the departmental training to get him up to par with the current policies and stuff like that. But he's already graduated the police academy. He is post-certified, so that would be a benefit for the department. One other one I'd like to hire is a provisional police officer until, because we don't have anybody on the eligibility list at this point. He's passed the background investigation, went through the interviews within the police department. Again, that would be pending the psychological evaluation, the drug test, and the physical. Deontay Dupera, I don't know if he's here. My secretary, we had a hard time trying to reach him to tell him to be here tonight. And we kind of give him short notice. And if it's all right with the council, I'd like to recommend hiring him as a reserve officer. I think he's here. David Stevens. He's a coach at Eunice Junior High and has roots here in Eunice.
K-E-U-N.